Time for feet and ankles, 102. We're gonna start with a combat-based pose where we are kind of pushing the ankle versus testing the ankle like we did in video 101. So Emma is kind of sitting on her foot. You can also kind of have the foot, you can be more on your other foot, or you can really sit back on this foot. It depends on your ankle mobility. But from here, what we're trying to do is load up that foot using our body weight. So I tend to kind of either put my hand behind me to push myself forward more, or just leaning into it. But the purpose of this, like all of these videos, is tension. So what you have to do is actively think, or not think, do, actively pull your toes up towards your shin, but keep the palm of your foot on the ground, or the pads of your foot on the ground. Don't lift your entire foot up, all right? Pulling the toes up and pushing the shin down. You should get a nice burning sensation through your shin, yeah? Oh, she's loving it, all right? So we're pulling those toes up, pushing that shin down, and at the same time, I'm kind of using my body to drive into my quad so I can drive more as I'm pulling. So pulling and pushing with my body as well. Could even be nice to have something to hold on to kind of pull yourself so you can really open up that ankle. But with a lot of this, we're trying to do, what can you do? What can you control versus forcing a joint or forcing an issue? It's what do you have control of? Good, relax. So that was a nice long hold. That was probably like 40 plus seconds. Nice little burn. So we're just gonna switch to the other side. So again, just sit however you're comfortable. Doesn't really matter, just so you're nice and comfy. And leaning into that leg, pulling up with the toes, pushing with the shin at the same time. Trying to push with my shin, pull up with my toe. So she's got nice distance here. I can put my whole hand under her foot. I do not, man, my feet barely come off the ground. I can barely get a finger under my toe. So that's actually pretty good. And this is her good side. So keep leaning into that, pulling up, pushing down. And if you find that your toes don't move at all, get in there and pull them up yourself just to help. Pull them, pull them, pull them. And then as I let go, I'm gonna try to keep them where they are. There we go, look, I got 2 fingers. And then it drops back. So it's just, you're working with yourself. You're trying to teach your body. And it doesn't always happen right away. Whew, relax. All right, we're gonna switch back to the other leg. Do that one again. So if you need to on this one, if this one's worse, feel free to get in there and kind of pull up and let it feel where it should go. Man, never mind, she's a rock star on both sides. I gotta get on her level. So do you. Keep pulling, and don't forget to try to keep leaning. Yeah, there we go. So keep driving that shin into that foot. So you're trying to close the gap between the shin and the foot at the same time, pulling up as much as we can. Pulling up, holding, keeping pressure. 3, 2, 1. All right, switch sides. And we're leaning in, pulling up with those toes, driving forward with that shin. And if you want to, you can put your hands behind you to get more pressure, but when I do that, I can barely move my foot at all off the ground. Really keep pulling, really keep driving that shin, getting a nice burn. 3, 2, 1, whew, relax. All right, very good. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and we'll skip over and go to the toes now. We're going to work on our toes in the sense of how do we curl them, and also how do we stretch them or flex them. So oftentimes our toes are just jammed in shoes all day and they never move and spread and do different things. So you can face that way. She's gonna sit back. So right now the tops of her feet are on the ground, and that's fine, that's what we're looking for. So tops of her feet are on the ground, and in this position, this is just a good ankle stretch, so we can sit here and you can kind of stretch your ankles out. But also what we can do is take your toes and try to curl them in towards your body, curling them up and in, but keep the tops of your feet on the ground. So keeping her feet on the ground, she's trying to curl her toes up towards her body. So go ahead and relax for a second. I'm going to go ahead and let you feel. So like you're trying to make a fist almost, all right? So we want to curl in, not just lift the toes, but try to curl them in. And I get a killer awesome cramp through my arch when I do this. There you go, that's good. And what you can do if you don't feel like your feet are moving very much, they're not very good, is you can get in there and kind of help them. Yeah, go ahead, you can do it, yep. So she's gonna pull her toes in more, and as you do that, still try to keep pulling. Did you get any cramping? Okay, yes, good. So cramping is a muscle saying, I don't know how to be in this position. I'm not sure how to control this. And that's what we want to fight through. So if you can, try to fight through the cramping. Might be killer. Relax. Doing awesome. It's really painful, but if you fight through it, that muscle finally gives up essentially, or kind of relaxes and says, okay, I'll hold this position for you. Everything's going to be fine. So we're going to do it again. Same thing, curling the toes up. She's giving herself some help so she can feel what that feels like. Really making sure you're bending the toes, not just lifting the feet, but curling them in, just like you make a fist. And then you can let go with your hands and try to keep that curl. There you go, it'll be less, but that's okay. Try to keep the curl as much as you can. 3, 2, 1, relax. Whew, all right. Now you can take those toes and fold them under so we can stretch the toes. Yes, there you go. So in this position here, now we're stretching, getting some flexion of the toes. Flexion, extension, whatever you want to call it. And in this position, again, you might get some shooting pain. You might feel some different things, maybe even in the toes and the tendons, it feels a little funny, but we're just gonna hold this. And if she were to lean forward more, that's less pressure. So if it's too much and you feel like you can't handle it, then you can feel free to lean forward. If you can handle it, then sit on back. And she's putting her butt right on her heels and putting full weight into her toes in this position. Hang out here just a little bit longer. So with this, you could probably do a minute or 2 a day, and not at once. You can do 20 seconds, rest, 20 seconds, rest if it's something that's really painful and kind of hard to handle. All right, very good. You can lay the tops of your feet back on the ground. Ooh, yeah, stretch that out, feel that. Now, this next one that we're gonna do is a little funky, but we're essentially gonna try to be on the tops of the toes, like your knuckles of your toes, all right? So she's in this position right now. She is pushing the tops of her toes on the ground and kind of folding from there. So not the top of her feet, but now she's on the tops of her toes or on the knuckles of her toes. And you can see the space. Before this was on the ground and now it's not. And that's it. She's just putting pressure into her toes. Again, we're trying to bend, flex, extend, put the toes in different positions. Injuries happen when our body gets thrown into a position it's never been in before. So the goal with these videos is to put you in different positions, have you hold them, brace them, stabilize. So if you encounter that position in sport, you're stronger for it. How's that feel? Oh, nice. Where? In the top of the foot? Okay. So she's getting nice burning in the top of her foot. And you know, tissues that aren't moved lock up. And those tissues kind of die off, and then we're not able to utilize them as much. And as an athlete, we want to utilize every muscle in our body to the maximum ability so that we're able to perform better. Relax, hon. Good job. All right, last thing we're going to do is some toe squats. All right, so we're gonna have our heels elevated off the ground, holding up onto our toes, and then trying to squat down as low as we can. With the toe squats, we're gonna squat down, pause, and then have the same position, body position and control coming back up. So you don't want to rush out of the bottom on the toe squats. You may go half the distance that we go, you may go further, whatever it may be, find a good starting point, and as you do these videos more and more, try to go lower and lower and make it harder. But the focus is on the foot, making sure we're all the way up on the toes and not cheating it and only being partially up. So you can go and stand on up, I'll stay down here. So she's going to push up into her toes. So just start with that, find your balance. This might be hard for some of you. You maybe want something to hold on to. Don't crush me and fall on me, okay? All right, so in this position, she's going to try to be on the tippy tops of her toes as high as she can, and then knees squatting over toes, totally okay. We're gonna squat down as low as we can, hold, yep. Keep pushing up, there you go. Yeah, there it is. Now I assist her a little bit so she really got that full push to the floor. Now, keep your torso how it is and try to stand on up nice and slow. That's it. Very good. And relax. These toe squats are maximal effort. So we're not gonna do 10 in a row. We're gonna do one really good one, rest a little bit, and then do it again. We're gonna go ahead and do 5 of these, all right? So first she's up, finding her position and descending down. Driving up through the toes, good. Big, yeah, that's it. You almost want to be perpendicular to the ground with your foot. Hold and slowly stand. Slow, good. Relax. There was 2. All right, we got 3 more of these. And again, you may go lower, you may not go as low. Focus on the foot. What is your foot doing? Try to get that foot vertical if you can. You might be here, but eventually the goal is to have your toes bent and be up as tall as you can. Here we go, rep 3. So she's up. Barely has the pads of her feet touching the ground. lost her balance a little bit. That's okay. Hold there. Good, hold there. Yeah, good. Way to push. And slowly stand. Excellent. Good. Control. And relax. Now, something I forgot to mention, but she's doing a very good job of, the squat does not end until you're fully extended. So until your knees are locked and you're at the top, then you can come down. Don't be half bent with the knees, come out and fall out of the squat. Finish it to completion. Here we go. This is rep 4. Good, she's driving through. Controlling, controlling, hold. Yes, up, easy, good tempo. All the way up, she locks, then she comes down. Very good. Awesome work. We got one more, guys. Driving up to the toes, finding her balance, coming on down. There we go, holding. She's gonna drive up more if she can. Yes, yes, good. And stand. She's going all the way until her knees lock. Once they lock, then she comes on down. Very good. All right. Thank you for joining. Feet and ankles 102.